Hello students, this is going to be an example of how do you create a menu in VC++. So this program which I have chosen is going to be an example for resources. So under resources, menu is also one of the resources. So you can also write the same example for creating resources. So one of the resources is the menu. So also I've used say dialog box, so inside which the menu is going to be placed. So the same example can also be given for creating a dialog box. How do you create a dialog box in VC++? So what are we going to do is we are going to create a dialog box inside which we are going to have a menu, and we are going to click on the menu and do a little bit of coding also with the menu. So this program will cover what do you mean by resource, what do you mean by how do you create a menu resource, how do you create a dialog box. So this will be the answer for all these kind of questions. So let us begin. File, new. So make sure you're in projects. Click on MFC application wizard. So we also spoke about wizards, application wizards. So you will now see how the coding is done. So there will be a template already inside which you will insert your coding, right? So this is the code. Say demo program is the name of the program. Okay. So I told you we are going to do also create a dialog box like this. So where you have OK and cancel button, this is a default box available. We're also going to use that. So I'm going to say dialog box, click next, right? No changes here, click next, no changes here. So I have to choose demo program dialog. So I'm not going to create an application, it's going to be in dialog. So I'm going to use dialog and finish. Okay. Right, so we got the dialog here. Okay, so this is the dialog already. This has OK and cancel button. The coding for the dialog also is already there. The template is already there. Only you have to make changes if at all you need something else to be added. Let us see. We are only going to add a menu here to the dialog box. We are going to add a menu. Let us see how we are going to do that. So here you can see this is going to be your dialog which we have here now. So similarly, you also have icons. There's going to be icon if you want to create an icon, right? So what are we going to do is we are going to create a menu here, right? Let us see how we are going to create a menu. So I'm going to click on my project, right click, right, insert menu, a new menu. So the new menu is created here. Yes, this is going to be the name of the new menu. So I have here, I have the area where I can create the menu. Again, I'll go to properties and give the caption. So let us say file is the caption. So inside file, I'm going to have the next submenu created. So right click properties. Here I have to say what is the submenu. I also should give the name for the submenu. Why? Because if I click on menu, if you click, you cannot actually do any coding there. Submenus, if I click on the submenu, you can code. Say for example, I want a message box to pop up. So I will code here. So how will I code there? I should first of all have a function written there, right? So I will call my function as say, let us say my underscore function for open. Let us say it's going to be an open button. Okay. So the caption is going to be open, and the coding I'll be writing the coding inside my open. So that is going to be your function name, right? Yes, done. Similarly here, properties. So save, let us say I'm going to have a save button. So let us say my underscore save will be the button I have to, the function I have to create. So the caption is going to be save button. So what I have done, I've created a menu. So I have two different things now. One, I have a dialog box. So the other one I have is a menu. So what I want now is I want the menu to come on this dialog box, right? So I want the menu to come on this dialog box. How are we going to do that? So I'm going to say right click, again go to properties. I'm going to say this is the dialog box. I'm going to attach a menu to it. The menu which we have created now is this IDR menu 1. So I've done that. Yes, enter. So it is done. It is set here. So let us check whether whatever we have created is there. First of all, so I will say build demo program. Program is building. Yes, so 0 errors and 0 warnings. The program is built. Let us say execute. Yes, it's executing. We have the menu created. So our plan was to have, first of all, have a dialog box. Inside the dialog box, I want a menu here. I have that. So open and save are there. If I click open, nothing is happening because we have not done the coding for it. So these are the default buttons. OK and cancel buttons are there. Yes. So far what we have done, we first created a dialog box separately, then we created a menu separately, then we attached the menu to the dialog box, and then we tried executing it, and it is executing perfectly without any errors. Now we have to write the coding for that, right? So now you will see the template, the app wizard template, so that you will be able to see now. See the coding, amount of coding which is gone in for this particular inbuilt dialog box, you'll be able to see. And there we will only write our piece of code, whatever we require, only that we are going to write. Okay, so we're going to say right click, class wizard. I go to the class wizard, right? So what is there? I have open and save. Two buttons are there. So I'm going to say open is the function I have. So you have to choose command, add function. So one function called on open. So what you should do on open. So one function is going to be written. Yes. So let us say edit code. It will take you to the coding part here. So add your command handler code here. So it directly takes you to that part of the coding. You don't have to worry about the other things. So I'm going to say yes. So we seem to have been getting error here. Just check. I think the syntax of this particular line, I had some mistakes. I'll try and correct that. Yes, so we again got this. So when I click this, I should be getting a message box like this here. Okay, right. Similarly, if I click on save, there should again be another message box, right? So what was the error? The error was here, I have not used the syntax here. Message and in message box, M and B in caps. So I missed that. So once I corrected it, it got clarified. So there is no problem now, right? So this is how you create a dialog box, create a menu in it, and how do you code the menu also. So what all the examples we can actually here see from this particular program is, you can say my program can be used to create a dialog box, right? I created a dialog box. You can write the steps in creating a dialog box from this particular program. You can also write the steps in creating a menu, which is a resource. So one of the resources, you can write what do you mean by resource, then give one example resource as a menu, and say how do you create, say also how do you create a menu, because this is going to be your lab program also. Creating a menu is a lab program. We're not going to leave with just creating the menu, we are also going to code it. So we also saw how do you go to the class wizard and how do you write the program for this. How do you write the function first of all, and then inside that how do you write the coding. So this is how you have done. So the steps if you follow, it is very easy to execute the program. Okay, the coding, if you see, the minimum coding we have done is only a message box, just one line of code. Why I chose a message box? Because you know the syntax already. So you already know, I've seen this message box. So I'm not going into any. You can also go for something like common dialog, where you have an open dialog box opening and all. Let us not complicate things, I saw. So I want also to show you. See, this is only line of coding I have written here is only this, like maybe this and this. Right? Just see the template how it looks like. This is the pre-existing code, right? So if we don't have any changes, we don't have to touch this code at all. This is the template we are talking about. Okay, this is the class wizard. Your app wizard also is very similar to this. We are going to do an MFC program. So there you will see what you mean by an app wizard. This is going to be a class wizard. The program is coding is already written. So only changes if you want. Wherever you want changes, you are going to make the changes, right? So let us again execute the program once before we end the session. Right, so file, open, if I click, you click open menu, it's the message box you get. Again click file, save, you click the save menu, it's the message you are getting, right? Coming of the program. Right. Hope you have understood. Thank you.